Hey guys, MD Prepper here, doing a quick review of 3 little smaller items that I've had for a while and I have to ashamedly say I have not used. Need to add these to my EDC options and whatnot. Just have not had them for a while and kind of forgot about them. So I'm not, I need to talk about these things because that might actually motivate me to use them. These are some smaller little EDC keychain options for whistles and storage and emergency medical type options. I got all 3 of these from goinggear.com. They're out of Smyrna, Georgia, close to where I went to college back in the day. Seem to have a great collection of great gear. We got some of their other stuff. I've not ordered from these guys nearly as much as I should have. This was one of my first orders a while back, and it came in, and honestly, it kind of sat on the back burner. I just kind of forgot about it. We got some little whistles and a little emergency medical info and a little storage cache, a little keyring option there. Very cheap, very affordable, extremely lightweight, and I don't know why in the heck I haven't been carrying these for the last few months when I ordered this, but whatever. We're going to break them down here. Let's start off with a little whistle here, get the rest out of the way. Again, Going Gear, this is their brand, as it says there, if the camera will decide to focus. There you go. Goinggear.com. Very basic little whistle, no little ball in it, just a little plastic insert. Don't know if you can see that on the camera in there. I'm not going to blow on it because you probably can't tell the decibels, but it's decent. Very, very lightweight. It's aluminum construction from what I can tell. This one's black. I don't think they make them in any other color, but for a small, lightweight signaling device, this is going to be fine. Fairly durable, being aluminum and round. Going to be fairly strong. Again, for your standard keychain. It's great, especially because this thing only cost me, I believe it was $2. I checked it out. I think they're on special for $1.50, something like that. Maybe less than that, maybe $1. Having a small little whistle, always a good thing. Are you necessarily going to need to signal out in a parking lot somewhere for being found? No, but for protection, if there's somebody creepy, following you around in a parking lot and whatnot, it's dark at night, blowing this thing may actually get you some attention. Bad guy may go, oh crap, run away. So whistles aren't just for being found out in the woods, okay? A lot of people, rank them in that category for signaling when you're lost or out in the boondocks. No, loud noise, fairly useful, especially a whistle. You hear a car alarm go off these days, the emergency alarm on those. Most people these days don't look around. They hear an actual high-pitched whistle in the city, suburban area. That's kind of odd. That's something you don't hear a whole lot. So having a little whistle with you on your keychain might be a good little item. Nice little, I won't say preventative self-defense, but nice little option if you need to. Weirdos coming up close and you're not quite ready to pull the pistol because you're not quite that close. Blowing on this may get them to veer off and go somewhere else and leave you the hell alone. So again, $1.50, $2, very nice. Gonna hold up. No major problems there. Next, this little medical whistle / storage device. Interesting. It's got a little whistle on it here. If you see that right there, in red, so you can see it. Not quite as loud as this little Going Gear one. These are about $3 a piece. I think they're on special now for about $1.50, something like that. Reasonably loud, lightweight, but the interesting part about this that sets this one apart that might be worth carrying. You open it up. You got your little rubber gasket there. I don't know if you can see that. But inside you've got this little paper insert that basically is probably made in China or somewhere like that because the English on it isn't quite what it needs to be. But your medical information, your blood type, medical conditions, medications, all of that. I think that's interesting. I don't know if this is necessarily a good everyday carry item across the board. It depends on your health needs. Of course, they make those little bracelets and all that. But out in the field, in the pack, something like that, this might be okay. It says on here it's whistle and medical ID, and it's got the instructions to open it, in case of emergency. The only problem I've got with this is somebody has to see it and know what to do with it, okay? If I've got somebody down in front of me, and I'm a doctor, so I've seen that on many occasions, I'm dealing with a person. I'm not necessarily looking around on their person necessarily. So more like EMS, somebody like that, carting you off and in transit might notice this. So this would have to be somewhere very noticeable to be picked up, okay? Because people tend to look for those little survival bracelets or the little Medicaid or medical alert bracelets or necklaces, that sort of thing. So I think this is nice in concept. I don't know if your average person is going to know to look for this, especially if it's not somewhere out and visible. So you fall over unconscious, you know, and this thing's hanging off the back of your pack, chances are somebody's going to pull that pack off your back and throw the pack aside and not look at it. So this needs to be somewhere where they're going to see it. So preferably maybe a lanyard around your neck if you need that, something like that. Whatever you want. The whistle's a nice addition. You know, $3. It's alright, no major problems. Probably not my favorite overall, but it's interesting. It's just an interesting little piece I picked up for cheap and figured, you know, why not? Let me take a look at it. Now, finally, other than the whistle, what I think is probably the best part of this stuff is this little capsule for pills, primarily, medications. Also has going gear on it. This one is, of course, in black, which is obvious, made out of aluminum. I don't know if they make them in other colors. I don't think so. Again, this was $1.50, $2, something like that. Got a little ring here and another big key ring. So lots of attachment options and all that. But this is for a keychain. This is where I would keep this. I'd keep this on my basic keychain. Very lightweight. I don't know how much it weighs. You know, very light though. Not gonna notice it. But if you check my previous videos on my 72-hour kit and all that, you need Benadryl. Everybody needs Benadryl. You have to have Benadryl in case you have a strange allergic reaction, because you can have an allergic reaction at any time. Just because you're not allergic to bees right now does not mean you couldn't get stung by one tomorrow and go into anaphylaxis. That does not mean I necessarily recommend everybody carries around an EpiPen. Not a bad idea, but kind of big, kind of bulky. Carry around a few tablets of Benadryl. And I say tablets, not capsules, because those little capsules will melt on you. Carrying this every day in your pocket and the heat and everything like that, go for the tablets. Tablets are the way to go, just for longer term use. Now, obviously you need to seek medical care if you start to have an anaphylactic reaction, something like that, your throat swells up, whatever. But hopefully you can open this bad boy, pop out a few Benadryls, get them in your mouth, and hopefully that's going to stem the tide. Not the biggest container in the world. Let me show you right there. Very small. There's the inside. That's going to hold a fair amount of small pills medication. You can carry anything else you've got. You know, if you've got other medical conditions and whatnot, you could store something in here if you had to. My other options for this should be probably some aspirin. I would carry aspirin just in case, again, being a physician, in case I ran into somebody who was having a heart attack or what I thought was a heart attack. I can get that aspirin on board relatively quickly out in the field. That could be a lifesaver. Wouldn't recommend you do that unless you have some medical training, you know, for you nurses and EMTs out there. This may not be a bad idea when you're off the job, just to have it just in case. You could put both those in here with plenty of room left over. You put all the Benadryl you need, all the aspirin you need, and a lot left over to dump out. You know, you can put some Tylenol in here. You can put some Motrin, Advil, whatever, naproxen, whatever does it for you. You know, in case you got aches and pains or whatever other type of medication you may need. Good in this. You could also put a little medical warning thing in there, but people aren't going to look there. You know, this is black. It's going to be on your keychain. So this is for your use. So not bad. Not bad for the $1.50 I believe I paid for it. So again, 3 options here that we talked about. The whistle, probably for most people, I'd say the whistle is going to have the most practical likely uses. That's fine. But honestly, me being into meds, because that's what I do for a living, I like this little med container. I've had this thing for several months and don't know why in the world I've not been carrying it. I'm probably going to load it up tonight with some aspirin and some Benadryl. Maybe something else. Just to carry around. I'm probably going to start EDC in this because that's a good idea. It just is. Again, Benadryl. You don't know when somebody's going to get stung by something. Not a bad idea. Anyway, goinggear.com. I've ordered some other stuff from them. We'll do some reviews at some point. But just thought I'd go on about these tonight. MD Prepper, out.